we've worked on with the boys, and we've taught the boys to say, last time we came here, we never won a game, but this time around, we have to turn the tables. We have to win more games and qualify to the World Cup.
It's just very, very special for us because for long we've been trying to reach this level, and being here today is like everything, and it means everything to us. And we're going to give everything we have for our country today.
For those who love it, those who support it, and those who play it, Orange is here. Orange, proud sponsor of African football.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
دعونا نرحب بمنتخب زامبيا. Let's welcome the national teams of Zambia and Sierra Leone.
Hello and welcome to the opening match of the 2025 Total Energies Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations hosted in Egypt. It all starts today with 13 nations qualified, drawn into one group of 5 and 2 groups of 4. Today, we will be watching the Shooting Stars of Sierra Leone, first-time debutants in this tournament, taking on previous champions, Zambia, with the young Choppy. Here played at the Suez Canal Authority Stadium in Ismaila, Egypt. The players are lining up in front of their supporters who have traveled to Egypt before they hear the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Zambia.
of the national anthem of Zambia. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free. That's what it was called. For Sierra Leone, their first time debuting in the finals phase of the 2025 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Whatever happens today, it'll all be a first. The first kickoff, first pass on target, first shot on target, first goal. Yet to be seen. Here are the starting 11 put in place by coach Muluwanda Boyd. He's opting with a 4-3-3 formation, captained by Sabobo. Banda gets the start in goal. Should be an interesting match. Zambia, former champions in 2017, and they also finished as runners-up in 2013, qualifying in a very difficult group, the COSAFA Under-20 Championship, where they defeated Zimbabwe in a dramatic semi-final. They'll be high on confidence. Players to look out for, definitely Sabobo, Levison Banda, who also took part in the 2023 U-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Captain Banda, at just 14, was called up to the Zambia national team and even had trials with FC Barcelona. The match officials today, Shamira Nabada. Coin toss to determine who will start with the ball first. Team photos, of course. Captain for Sierra Leone is Momo Ibrahim Kamara. I believe he was their top goal scorer in the qualifications. The Wafu Zone A tournament, finishing with 3 goals. Sierra Leone did exceptionally well, defeating Gambia in the semi-final on a scoreline of 3-0. Determining fashion. Of course, they didn't win the whole tournament, losing to Senegal in the final, but nonetheless, satisfactory result for Mohamed Lamine Kamara's men. Well, boys, as he likes to say in his conferences. 4-1-4-1 formation. Kamara and captain, Jallo getting the start in goal. He'll be one of the players to watch as well. The goalkeeper from Denmark's Brøndby, Hindolo Mustafa as well. Player that could be one to look out for on this side. Sierra Leone have been practicing together for the past 4 months. 3 players from outside of Sierra Leone arrived on Friday. That was Osman Kamara, as well as Abraham Kanu from Reading and Kevin Bobson Cargbo from Belgium. They arrived at the Shooting Stars camp, accompanied by the national team ambassador Christian Dauda on Friday evening. So not the greatest atmosphere here at the stadium in Ismaila, the Suez Canal. However, this match does have grand implications. Points are to be won in this group of 5. They won't want to make any mistakes either side, given that up next are strong challenges in Tanzania, South Africa, and Egypt, the hosts. Of course, to stay in the action, and you can follow Egypt take on South Africa later on this evening. That'll be played in Cairo. Referee Shamir Bassa gets it started. It's Zambia wearing their orange kits, attacking from left to right. Sierra Leone, the Shooting Stars, making their debut in under-20 football, attacking from right to left. Both managers seemed quite calm, quite confident as well going in. However, they have different styles of play. Zambia are going in with much more experience, of course. One of the most successful teams in the Total Energies CAF Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. To see if they press on with that pedigree. Of course, Boyd Mulwanda wants to be inspired by the side that won the competition in 2017. Exciting for them to be resilient. It all started with their qualification campaign where they were the COSAFA under-20. Of course, that's the Confederation of South African Nations. They lost to Angola in the opening match, but rebounded well, stayed true to their principles, and defeated Zimbabwe in a dramatic semi-final. They went up 2-0 in that match. Were joined and squandered their lead. Zimbabwe equalizing, but now here's Sierra Leone going forward. It's well defended. Good alertness there from Alpha Turai. Center back for Sierra Leone, who plays his club football in Serbia. Dubocia Leskovac. They do have a good blend of European experience, Sierra Leone as well. It's one to look out for. It's a new generation for the Shooting Stars. Exciting talents. With players playing their trade in Europe, they hope to bring them back and contribute to this African continent, which is rich of promising talents. Of course, as I was saying, Zambia reached the final of their COSAFA, but that's all they needed to do to qualify for this tournament. And what's at stake? Of course, there's victory and glory of becoming champion of the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations, but importantly speaking, the 4 teams that reach the semi-finals of this tournament, just 4, will be qualified to the upcoming Under-20 2025 World Cup, organized by FIFA. That'll be hosted in Chile later on this year. Between the 27th of September and the 19th of October. All teams are qualified. All 24, except for the African sides. They'll have 4 teams represented, the same as CONCACAF, as well as Asia. South America will have 5. Europe, 5 as well. Here's the goalkeeper for Sierra Leone. Zambia doing well to press Sierra Leone into their own half, not allowing for them to break out into space and expose them yet. The team wearing orange, the young Chopolo Polo. Supporters of senior level football will remember when Zambia upset and shocked the world under the reigns of Hervé Renard when they won the senior level Africa Cup of Nations, but now the young Chopolo Polo have to defend here. Sierra Leone breaking into space. It's a ball delivered down the middle, and it ping-pongs all its way back to the goalkeeper, Levison Banda, who comfortably with one glove stops it from going out for a corner kick. Interesting way how Mohamed Fofana broke out into space. He's a local talent, plays his club football in Sierra Leone. But Hervé Renard led Zambia to the 2012 Africa Cup of Nations, defeating several teams. Had key players with him as well, such as Topila Sunzu. Renard would go on to win it again in 2015, but that time with Ivory Coast. Battle for possession, deep in Zambia's back left. Pressure here from Zambia. It's going to go all the way back to the goalkeeper, and he doesn't make a very convincing pass, so he's returned possession to the Oranges of Zambia. It's not often that they've won the ball back so high up the pitch. Let's see if they have that sort of pedigree to make their opponents pay for it. Sending a long ball into the box, and it's cleared only temporarily, though. Have to stay on their toes, Zambia. Sabobo, the captain, gets a little bit frustrated, unable to capitalize on that semi-gifted opportunity from the foot of the goalkeeper of Sierra Leone, Mamadou Diallo, who made a mess of his clearance. It's a shame for the young Choppy. Can't imagine they'll be given too many of those opportunities, but perhaps they shall. They uphold that pressure. Chested with authority by the Sierra Leone defender. Fofana again, back on the ball. He's perhaps one of the ones to stir up the most danger going forward so far for the shooting stars of Sierra Leone. Here he is again, Fofana. Always wondering how he could thwart the opponent's defense. Struggling to build up play, however, Sierra Leone, they're confronted by that midfield curtain. But they break away now, and they spread it wide. Good cross into the area, it's gonna find Fofana. Tipped away by the tackle of Matthews Banda. Excellent defending from Banda.
Come on, Devi!
20-year-old defender who plays his club football for Nakana. I believe there was an offside flag that went up. Perhaps it was on the forward. See, super well dispatched, just inches behind the last defender. It goes Santigi Forna. Excellent work from Sierra Leone, surprising their opponents. And here they go again, insisting on the right, looking for the pace of Ba. The linesman couldn't have had a better view of that ball if it went out of bounds. May have been the best chance of the match so far, and just when Zambia were the side to have recovered possession deep in their opponent's half, they lost a very contested midfield battle, which resulted in Sierra Leone finding space on the right. Not rewarded with the goal, however. But Mohamed Lamine Camara, the manager and the head coach of Sierra Leone, he's built a well-drilled, balanced squad. You can see they're very disciplined and know when to speed up and slow down the match as well. Good job from the Zambians keeping the pressure there. They're going to win a free kick. David Hamansenya, their left back, getting stuck in and closed down by two shooting stars. Escaped the tackle from the captain Momo Kamara. And put his body on the line to win a free kick. They've now transitioned from left to right. Choppy. Long ball behind the back. Will it be called offside? Won't matter anyway, because there was a little bit too much mustard on that. Long ball in the direction of David Simukonda. Zambia too have certain players, several players that play outside of the country. Oh, this is how could they get a better chance than now? It's a shame, poorly handled by Zambia. There was space and they had numbers forward. Not well done by Andrew Mulenga. And now, will they have to pay directly? It's Mohamed Fofana. He's well caught. Excellent defending. Kalango until it's recovered. That'll be a shot that drifts wide. He's never going to threaten. Didn't really take his time with the effort, and just seemed like the ball was always under him for now. Levison Banda, the goalkeeper, won't be stressed with efforts that come from that range with that little power. Oh, long find the target, but just goes to show the confidence that's injected into the Sierra Leone side from the opening 10 minutes. It's been very encouraging for the Shooting Stars. Wouldn't be able to tell that this is their first outing in the under-20 Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations. Time will tell. Of course, there's lots of time left to be played in this match, but the opening 10 minutes, they've allowed for Zambia to have glances of opportunities, but nothing to threaten. And the way that they do move the ball is careful. It's a bit more of an effective approach play than that of Zambia, but again, so much football has to be played in this evening match and the opening match of the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. 13 sides are going to be disputing for glory. These two, quite frankly, perhaps not the favorites to go all the way and lift the trophy, but they'll be wanting to make their mark. They're drawn into the group of 5 sides, along with hosts Egypt, South Africa, and Tanzania, so they'll play 4 group matches, while the other groups are 4, and they'll play 3 each. In the press conference before the match, manager of Sierra Leone said this is our first Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations appearance, and we're here not just to participate, but to make history. So far, there hasn't been the first shot on target yet. They'd surely like for that first shot on target to be the first goal. If I had to envision who that could be, so likelihood it'll be Mohamed Fafana on the left here. He's received the ball now, very deep in the midfield. Of course, he'd like to be served either behind the back of the defense or with space to cover. Risky play from Sierra Leone. They're going to be rewarded with a free kick, but not without any repercussion. Referee calling for medical assistance for both players. Trunching challenge contested between the sides. Yeah, difficult to brandish a yellow card. It was a very close call. Fury arriving just a little bit late. The Zesco United forward for Zambia. Clashing with Amar Keita. Of course, this medical stoppage will also serve as an opportune moment for the managers to perhaps give some advice and make some adjustments, as well as for the team players to communicate, discuss what they see could work, could not. Of course, football is such a psychological sport, and it's a team sport. You can have 1 or 2 individuals outclassing and outperforming, but the whole unit doesn't follow, then it's insufficient. Really are dependent on not just 11 players, given how many substitutions can be made in football today. Since COVID-19 epidemic, substitutions increased from 3 to 5 per match, which is much better for the safety of players. However, it also means that managers have much more power to influence the game, and substitutes have more power to influence the game. Banda will recover this ball without any problem. Sierra Leone back in possession. They've definitely looked like the side in control for this opening 15 minutes. 30 left to play in this first half. There haven't been too many fouls either. Clean match of football so far. Well chested by Saidu Bangura. Oh, lovely bit of technique from the captain, Momo Kamara. And they've spread it wide. It's Ba. We've seen the service, the low cross. It's been the trend. Jallo's been delivering low crosses. It's his second one. Neither have found success and been testing the center-back pairing of Kalumango and Nsiku. So far, Kalumango emerging victorious in his duels and defensive plays. Long throw in from Jallo. He's going to get it back. It doesn't seem like Fofana has the height to contest this ball, but he's going to be on the second. They may have options inside the box. It's a driven cross. Zambia struggling to get the ball and extinguish the danger. Jallo is going to win a corner. Finally, they get a set piece deep in the opponent territory. And a lot of it is happening thanks to good work between the midfielders, Momo Camara, Sadio Ba, Nathaniel Jallo. They're making very good impressions. Possession stats so far, Sierra Leone have 65% to 35, so statistics also reflective of the domination so far. Referee having to calm the nerves and the tensions. Not like there has been excessive amounts so far. For viewers who watched the Clásico yesterday between Barcelona and Real Madrid, nothing of the sort. In swinging corner, it's direct, and the first save has to be made by Levison Banda, swiping the ball. Again, he's let down by his defense a little bit because they're just unable to clear their lines and restricted to defending with inside their box. The young Cholo not exactly looking like that. They have that championship pedigree. Perhaps did they underestimate the Sierra Leone side, who are hungry as ever to get that opener? Maybe the experience will pay off. Will they be able to continue on? Completely unmarked was Alpha Touré. Yeah, and it really was a strong cross. Perhaps the velocity of it dazing him a little bit. He has to go to ground. Surely isn't the disappointment of missing the target, which is causing him to fall. Hopefully it's just need a little bit of medical attention. It's not too serious. He was playing so well. Alpha Touré is on the defensive end. If he would have been able to grab the opening goal. That's that beautifully delivered in swinging cross, which was a cross shot in theory. Count that and mark that as the first shot on target in the history of Sierra Leone's under-20 national team. It's Amara Keita. Have to imagine if he deliberately was trying to score or if just to send in a dangerous ball. Happened to be a bit of both. Levison Banda proving that he is very much alert and determined to help his side go far in this tournament. Mbemba, wearing number 13 from Zambia, who said that our target is beyond just this one game. It's the whole tournament. Hopefully they didn't overlook Sierra Leone. I mean, it's appearing like they may not have amply estimated Sierra Leone, and now they put themselves into a dangerous position, bailed out of jail by Matthews Banda. Let's be careful there. Nalumango. Excellent recovery from tracking back from Matthews Banda. There he is, Matthews Banda, who just made that great defensive play. Now will be tasked with sending in a throw-in. Could this spark a different wave of momentum in this match, which has been overwhelmingly in favor of Sierra Leone? He's taking his time. Let's see if he can dispatch this throw-in into a dangerous area. Lots of distance to it. Zambia were up to the task. Oh no, excuse me, Sierra Leone. And they won a good free kick, Zambia. Completely central It's Mumba Mwale who won it. Mwale, who was instrumental during their qualification campaign, their highest goal scorer. And now was having perhaps a little bit of a discreet opening 15-20 minutes and has won a key free kick, and this could change the tide. There'll have to be quality behind the strike, but they are assisted by the positioning of this free kick. It's very central. Difficult for the referee, for the goalkeeper to position his wall, depending on if the shooter is going to be left-footed or right-footed. It's about 30 yards away. Which isn't so unhelpful because it leaves a little bit more time for the ball to get up and over the wall and fall back on target. But if we do see it crash to the back of the net, this shot, it'll be a special opening goal. And what a way to mark an opening match. It's taken, it's on target. No, it isn't, excuse me. I was fooled as well. But the goalkeeper, Mamadou Jalou, ensuring that he wouldn't be fully committed to the dive. Not just curved a little bit too much at the end, but the height was there. Just went a little bit too wide. Great technique from the captain, Josep Banda. And there we have it, Sierra Leone threatened again. Seems like in the first 5 minutes, they were the side who were pegged into their own half, but through 2 set pieces, one a throw-in and the second a free kick, they've had to deal with some defending. Zambia are displaying their intentions to go forward. Watchful eye of Mohamed Lamine Camara, the Sierra Leone manager. It's been under his leadership that Sierra Leone have had this compact defensive shape, and he's been the artisan of their counter-attacking play of football. He's also helped with the blend of players from Europe and local leagues. As said, he's been working with this group of players for the past 4 months. Their sole focus is to show the continent and all the viewers Sierra Leone are an emerging force. Of course, they're not the only side competing in the Africa Cup of Nations for the first time. There's also Kenya, who are making their first appearance. The under 20 Africa Cup of Nations. However, there's very, very seasoned, experienced sides that are also competing. Ghana, Nigeria, Egypt. They've been involved 13 times. Zambia, this is their 9th appearance. The tournament actually started as a means of qualifications to the World Cup, and I believe it was in the 90s that it became a tournament finals phase as well as a trophy brandished at the end. Zambia now trying to just have a little bit of possession on their own, get comfortable with the ball. It was actually in 1991 that it was the first championship. It was hosted here in Egypt as well. Confirmation. Egypt were to be the ones to win that maiden tournament, defeating Ivory Coast 2-1. On the 3rd place match, it was Zambia that made it, but would fall to Ghana 2-0. Egypt, who are hosting the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations for the third time. They did so in 1991, 2023. And Côte d'Ivoire were supposed to host this edition in 2025. It was a late, great decision for the Egyptians to come up and present themselves to host for a third time. Zambia are just one of 6 champions as well that are participating in this tournament. There's also Morocco, Egypt, Senegal, Ghana, and Nigeria. Of course, in this group A, there's only Egypt and Zambia, who are previous winners. Group B is composed of Nigeria, Tunisia, Kenya, and Morocco. Group C, Senegal, Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ghana. The tempo of the match has slowed down a little bit since that free kick taken by Joseph Banda. It was a bit of a warning sign. From that moment on, I believe Sierra Leone has taken a little bit less risk in opening themselves up. Yeah, as you can see in the bottom left of your screen, presented by Total Energies, are the shot statistics. Sierra Leone had 4, Zambia's 1. Surely all the most dangerous plays came from set pieces. It was that in-swinging corner by number 13, Amara Keita, by Sierra Leone, which threatened the most. And again, more from the right. Sierra Leone, that's where they seem to be at most at ease. Although their perhaps star forward, Mohamed Fofana, is on the left. He hasn't found success the same way that Saliuba, Nathaniel Jallo, and Santiji Forna have. And will we see Amara Keita send a dangerous in-swinging corner again? Zambia have to be well positioned here. They've allowed for a lot too much danger to be created from these set piece situations. Here's Keita. It's much higher, less controlled. Perhaps the nerves getting in the way of him being able to adjust that cross the proper way. Disappointing cross from the left back. Should do a lot better. Squandering a chance, and Zambia, their long throwing capacities. Matthews Banda been good defensively and also showcasing his ability. Oh, this is trouble. Good work from Mamadou Jallo, because the number 9 of Zambia was sprinting like a train, Andrew Molenga. Just had to imagine if he would have gone to touch that ball first. Maybe his finishing abilities would have been able to be on display. More space on the right. Zambia have to be careful with how much they're allowing for Sierra Leone to develop an approach from that right-hand side. Maybe too focused on blocking Mohamed Fofana, who really is the dangerous outlet for Sierra Leone. One of their technical leaders, so to speak. But Sierra Leone, their strategy is like, okay, close down our left, we'll start developing from the right. Look at that run again, the fullback is in space. If he's found, yes he is. Exciting from Sierra Leone, can he deliver on the final ball? Great tackle, what tracking back from Haman Senya. Having to wear his firefighter suit there because saved the day. Very difficult for Zambia to settle into this match, and that's a wayward pass. But you can see what the intention was. It's to stretch out the Zambia defense and expose that right-hand side, which is just not exactly covered. How many more warning signs for Mulwanda Boyd, the manager, before he makes the adjustments and fixes what's happening on his left? Just always seems like there's numerical superiority from the shooting stars when they build up on the right. It's a shame that Jallo, the number 18, hasn't had that final ball with quality met by a forward. And of course, in football, as any supporter knows, well, it's a good ball behind the back of the defense, and great defensive play from, I believe it was Bangura. Keita dispatching it down the middle. Speculative ball, but well done by number 21, Samuel Gandhi. He got behind the back of Nalumango. Initially, that through ball seemed like it was going to be dealt with by the center back, but misread the trajectory, underestimated the pace of the forward Samuel Gandhi. Just never got enough power on the shot, but believed in himself all the way through. Let's see, perhaps an injury to his face. Not exactly clear where the contact was made from that replay. Let's see it again. Maybe it was an elbow. But yeah, Gandhi not making the most of that situation. Milimo Nalumango. Started the match showcasing all his talent. Just 17 years of age. Milimo Keith Nalumango. Plays his club football in Germany. DFI lad Ebling. Here he is again, Milimo. One touch pass to the left. Long ball breaking the lines from Zambia. They tried again. No fouls called, and the young Chopolo Polo have an interesting spell of possession, but they've been backed off already. Misapproximation by the fullback, and it's been recovered. A good defensive return from Joseph Banda. The captain sells the ball. Frustrating effort, Joseph Banda. Perhaps didn't see any other options than to go for goal. Player who plays his club football in Switzerland for FC Zurich. There's some contested challenges there, and the referee not blowing her whistle. Allowing for play to carry on. Nothing too controversial. Good moments of joy in the stands here at the Grand Suez Canal Stadium here in Ismaila, Egypt. One of the 4 venues selected to host this tournament. The other 3 would be the Cairo International Stadium, the 30th of June Stadium. Both of those are in Cairo, as well as the Suez Stadium in Suez. Matthews Banda still down, the right back. He's had a busy opening 35 minutes. Mulwanda Boyd, the manager of Zambia, can't be too pleased with what he's seen so far. However, It is known that the Zambian side have an ability to bounce back and overcome adversity. Actually played a pre-tournament friendly against Ghana just a few days ago. They were to win that one 2-1. So they do have that pedigree and that experience of knowing how to win. They haven't conceded yet, so no reason to be too alarmed. Just they have been slightly exposed for leaving defensive holes, especially on their left side. They've been bailed out by some individual brilliance by defenders and midfielders, including this player here, Nalumango, Matthews Banda as well. He's done well to keep his side in the match. Moa Fofana would like to get a bit more involved, the number 7 for Sierra Leone. He's not searched for and he's not found. And plays cut out promptly by the careering run of Santiji Forna. Wasn't going to stop for anything. Matthews Banda. He could launch that ball so far with his throw. It's a real weapon. This time he was looking for Andrew Mulenga. Perhaps the only player on the pitch, well, definitely the only player on the pitch to play his club football in Brazil. Portal Victoria FC. Possession stats still show large domination in terms of who's carrying the ball more. It's the Shooting Stars at 64% to 35. Well, 64.7 to 35. To be precise. But over the last 12 minutes, by my book, it's been a bit more of a tame encounter. Not exactly, but this is exactly who we do not want to return the ball to. Momo Fofana, who found his forward. The shot is not on target, but was it a cross? Fofana falls and scuffs the final effort. Such a shame for the Shooting Stars. They were gifted an opportunity there and do not make the most of it by any means. Cleats up challenge from Sierra Leone, dangerous, but fortunately, Fury isn't hurt. Yeah, that was the initial slip from Matthews Banda, the player who I said was defending quite well. Then Milimo slipped. And it's a shame because it just seemed like Samuel Gandhi was going to be searching for that second post. Dragged his shot wide, and Fofana was there on the follow-up, but slipped on his own. And again, great ball. Oh, a little bit of trickery from Jallo. Doesn't pay off. I have to say, Hamad Senya, he's always late to defend. But when he does get engaged in a duel, defensively speaking, he's quite effective. However, there's just so much space on that right side. Look, again, there's a massive pocket. Perhaps there's just lack of oversight, or maybe, I'm no expert coach, but Mwanda Boyd may have to look at something there. He tried to do it all on his own, Joseph Banda. A trend we've seen a little bit too much in the first half. That has to be frustrating. Winning his duel, Samuel Gandhi, awarded with a free kick. Yeah, we're gonna see that attempted bit of skill. It was nice to watch, just didn't pay off at all. Hamad Senya making sure to get his body in front of the ball. Smiles from Mwanda Boyd. Surely can't be too pleased with the way things are going. But again, no reason to be overly disappointed either. The side are still in the match. Matthews Bonda's going to clear that. Oh, poorly done. Ba does not make them pay. Just seems like Zambia are offering a little bit too many reasons for Sierra Leone to find a solution. That was a poor clearance, as poor as that you can get. And Ba unable to hit the target. However, if you are a supporter of Sierra Leone, it's also their Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to them. But they put on a bright face for these opening 41 minutes. Dominating in terms of possession, chances created. They've been ambitious, just lacking some quality when it comes to that final cross or final shot. But they do seem united as a side. You can take his word for it, Mohamed Lamine Camara, the manager, that they've been training together for 4 months straight. Of course, only 3 players arrived late last week. That was Osman Camara was amongst them, the Arsenal FC player. Well, perhaps we'll see later on in this match. Matthews Bonda's gonna have to come off there. It'll be the entrance of Charles Buyoya, Café Celtics player, coming on for the fullback. And that's a shame because Matthews Bonda was very, very well utilized, especially from the throw-ins, and made some good defensive coverages. However, he did make that mix-up throw. Whoa. Out of nowhere. Driven left shot. Was that from Keita? No, it was Gandhi. Much better effort in terms of what he got behind it than that one-on-one chance he had. Samuel Gandhi, perhaps the one to have had the better looking chances this match, but hasn't found that quality behind his finish. But interesting football from the Green Buffalo. Excuse me, Old Edwardians FC player. Here's Fofana. Can he trick the new defender? And he does. Gets away from the pressure. But he's going to be chased upon by 2 Zambians, including the captain, Joseph Banda, tracking back well. Even the number 9 of Mulenga defending. It's all men on deck for... Oh, it's going to go into it, and how does he miss? Unbelievable. The ball ping-ponged its way into the feet of the captain, Momo Camara, the top goal scorer of the qualification campaign. I believe there may have been a whistle blown for offsides. Yeah, Gandhi was offside, so had that ball found the back of the net, would have been called back for an offside, but wow. Zambia, all 10 of their outfield players seem to be defending in their own 18 yards. And despite that, Sierra Leone finding the gaps and finding the players in the danger areas. They're very, very fortunate to count on Sierra Leone's poor finishing. But when it comes to build-up play, they've been irreproachable. No foul there. Just Zambia unable to link up those dangerous passes. Not to say that Sierra Leone haven't, to their credit, have been defending poorly. They have been defending well, just they haven't had to work that hard either. Just appears that they're a lot more organized in the opening 45 minutes. They're patient with their approach. Just as I say that, they opt for a long ball. It's poorly given away. Joseph Banda. His through ball prevented from finding his teammate thanks to a good sliding tackle. Here's Momo Fofana. Oh, he's so stirring with the ball at his feet. Lacked quality in that switch up. And could it be through individual brilliance that Zambia's going to find the opener? Can they do it? It's a poor finish. What a save as well. He had a teammate to his right. He had Banda, but he's now back in the area. Banda, can he get the goal? Incredible last minute, last second. Wow, chaos in the box to end the first half. Zambia perhaps having the best chance after suffering for the greater and the lion's share of the half. I mean, it's a wonderful run down the middle of the heart of the defense of Pascal Fury. Believed in himself, perhaps even too much, because tried to get the finish all on his own. Had he been a little bit more generous, could have found Joseph Banda earlier. And then the defensive recovery was good enough for the Shooting Stars. Incredible scenes to end this first half. And that's football for you. Zambia, who perhaps were suffering for most of this match, and now it seems like they may be video assistant referee checking for handball. And wow, that renders the first half a little bit even. That gives a different flavor to the halftime team talk from Mulwanda Boyd. Had they not had that opportunity, it would have been mostly about defensive construction, but this time they actually had the best chance of the first half. Of course, it was a good save from Sierra Leone's goalkeeper, Mamadou Diallo, who didn't go to ground early and stayed as big as possible. His right glove stopping Fury from getting the opening goal of the tournament. But squandered opportunity, that's for sure. Fury had done maybe not the hardest bit, but showcased his individual prowess. Could have been a little bit more altruistic at the end. Final minute approaching of added time. The ball was not disguised for Momo Kamara. Well done by Keita, the fullback. He's going to look for Fofana. The substitute Boyoya thrown straight into the fire, having to defend on one of the most electric players of Sierra Leone, Momo Fofana, but this time doing enough to win a foul. Yeah, let's see this run by Fury. So good, and just getting the final touches before and attracting the pressure and escaping. And it wasn't the right glove, excuse me, it was the left glove of Mamadou Diallo. And then bailed out of jail by those center backs. The final effort by Andrew Mulenga, not on target. Joseph Banda goes to ground. This may be the first booking of the first half, right at the end. Surely will be. And Shamir Nabada brandishes the first yellow card to Mohamed Fofana. Completely uncontrolled tackle. Lunged to the air and made contact with the upper part of the ankle. A bit dangerous, actually. Wouldn't say he's lucky to get away without a red card, but there's one way to show that you are more an accomplished forward than defender. That's the way to do it. Mohamed Fofana now defending cleanly. Oh, but putting his teammates into perhaps a precarious position. Zambia finishing on top this first half. They won't have too much time left to build, and the ball will bounce out of bounds, and Shamir Nabada will blow her whistle for the end of the first half. It's 0-0 between the young Chapolo Polo of Zambia and the Shooting Stars of Sierra Leone. Zambia not exactly entering this tournament on a strong foot, but ended the first half with the best of the chances that came through Pascal Fury. However, it was mostly Sierra Leone who were in control of possession. Seemed like they were patient in their build-up and their construction. A lot more looking like a collective unit, while Zambia seemed like they were relying on individual brilliance to make the breaks. Very different approaches of football, very different approach styles, different strategies as well put in place by the managers, and nonetheless, stalemate at 0-0. Just when Sierra Leone seemed to be the side that were in control almost, Zambia broke out at the very end, and they do have those talented players up front who can make the difference, and it's all to play for here at the Suez Canal Stadium in Ismaila for this opening group stage match of Group A of the Total Energies Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations, which will be hosted in Egypt. Day one is now. Competing for a place in the final, which will be played on the 18th of May. Final possession stats, 36-63 for Sierra Leone, 4 shots to 7, 1 shot on goal each. Much more accuracy from Sierra Leone than Zambia. 3 corners to 0. That's where we saw Sierra Leone perhaps at their peak danger as well from the set pieces. A pretty clean match, only 8 fouls to 6, 1 yellow card, which was brandished too. Momo Fofana. for waiting, and we're about to get started for the second half of this opening match, Group A of the 2025 Total Energies Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. First half, if you missed it, Sierra Leone, known as the Shooting Stars, came out and showcased a lot of their qualities and abilities. Dominated possession, monopolized it for most of the half, finished with about 65%. Were dangerous offset pieces and were dangerous mostly from the right wing. Of course, their star forward, Mohamed Fofana, was on position on the left and stirred a lot of danger on his own, but it would be 3 or 4 players combining well on the right through Jallo, Ba, Gandhi, and Forna. Captain Mohamed Kamara also had a good chance that would be called for offsides, but nonetheless, they worked their way well up the pitch. Zambia, who were struggling, ended on a high note and almost made their opponents pay for their lack of goal-scoring prowess and their lack of finishing in the final third. By creating perhaps the best chance of the half, be through Pascal Fury, who would charge through the middle of the defense, doing it all on his own, and had perhaps a simple lay-in pass for his captain, Joseph Banda, to tap it in, but opted to go all on his own. He was met by an imposing goalkeeper in Mamadou Jarou. 2 substitutions for Sierra Leone, interestingly. That'll be all from Fofana, who was booked. And Sariuba also coming off. It'll be Sulman Kagbo. And we're back. Zambia now in their orange kits, attacking from right to left. Sierra Leone, the Shooting Stars, from left to right. Good interception there from the fullback, Amansenya. The first. Blow the whistle for the referee, Shamira Nabada, Ugandan football referee. So yeah, confirmation. Sulaiman Kagbo is on. As well as number 20, Sambaba. We're here at the Suez Canal Authority Stadium in Ismaila, Egypt. Capacity of about 10,000. Not exactly full this evening for the opener of this tournament, which will conclude on May 18th. Of course, what's at stake is qualification for the World Cup, which will be played in Chile in 2025. The World Cup in Chile, which will have 24 participating nations. It'll be taking place between 27th of September to the 19th of October. Africa will have 4 representatives, all semi-finalists of this tournament. Starting off with 13 teams. 4 will qualify for the World Cup, and of course the winner will be deemed champion and will be the successor of Senegal, who won the edition in 2023, which was also held in Egypt. Senegal, who defeated Gambia in the final. Gambia is the side that Sierra Leone eliminated to qualify for this year's edition. They beat them 3-0 in the West African qualification tournament. Here comes Zambia. There's a pocket of space, and their number 9 is going to present himself against a goalkeeper. Amazing from Jallo. Unbelievable how that ball did not find the back of the net. Andrew Mulenga served perfectly by his teammate. It wasn't Fury, it was the number 6, Simukonda. It just took so much time to get the ball in a comfortable position for him to shoot, and Mamadou Jallo sprinted out. Stressful moment for the manager, Mohamed Lamine Camara. That's much better from Zambia. As we're seeing in the second half, they're showing a different face. A little bit of dangerous play there to make contact with your opponent while he's taking flight. I have to be careful, Camara, taking a risk, but pays off. And they've worked the ball to number 20, Sambaba. Shamir Nabad, the referee, calling for that free kick to be retaken from the proper spot. Zambia were astutely trying to win a few yards there. Here's their center back, Nalumango. Dispatches it up the pitch. Great wing play. Here's Fury. We've shown that he's shown his pace already. Know how dangerous he can be. His cross captured by the goalkeeper of Sierra Leone, Mamadou Jallo. Just Zambia looking at the faces of the bench. Seem like they've not fully recovered from that missed opportunity just a few moments ago. Presented itself at the feet of their forward, Andrew Mulenga, who arrived very recently, joining the camp. Approximative long ball played up forward by Bangura. Not sure that was the wisest of decisions. And they've given possession back to Zambia, who are looking a lot more comfortable with the ball at their feet than they did in the first half. Be interesting to see the possession stats, how they evolve. Zambia continue on so far. Just as a reminder, the opening 45 minutes ended with a noteworthy change, with a noteworthy domination possession, excuse me, of 65% possession. If you want to keep up with the conversation online, enter hashtag Total Energies AFCON U20. Join in and share your thoughts with the community of supporters of this fantastic tournament taking place in Egypt. Speculative effort, and Jadot accompanied the ball as it flew wide, and that's the only substitute of the match so far for Zambia, who came on for Matthews Banda late on in the first half. Charles Buyoya cleared far by Jadot, and it's well won. Good hold-up play from Sierra Leone. Buyoya, who we just saw take a shot off target, defending well this time. And the pace of Zambia on display here. Good recovery from Sierra Leone. Look how many players have come back to close down the spaces. You do feel the unity a bit more in the shooting stars than in Zambia, who seem to be unlocking situations through moments of individual brilliance, like that pass, which was, the vision of that pass was excellent. It's a shame that Andrew Mulenga wasn't on the same wavelength. In discussion, the fourth referee is Mohamed Lamine Camara. Mwale got the best of his defender there. Gareth Bale-esque against Barcelona in the, I believe it was almost a 2014 Copa del Rey final. Maybe 2015. Against Marc Bartra. Of course here, Mumbamwale didn't go all the way and score on his own, but did well to showcase his pace. Completely different run of the game so far. Zambia are now the team confidently going forward, retaining possession, while it's Sierra Leone, the shooting stars, who, since making those 2 substitutions, not as comfortable. A little bit of a slip of the ball in the hands of Buyoya. Also have to backtrack, and Sierra Leone recovered possession after a poor giveaway. Well done. I've been impressed so far by David Hamansenya. I feel like his confidence going up one-on-one in duels is quite good. They play the ball behind his back, and good coverage by Nsiku. Well extended, and he's going to be on the chase. Mulenga. Frustrating miss from Mulenga. Should have done better there. But now Zambia, they have to maybe take advantage of this disorganized setup by Sierra Leone, because they do come back and know how to position themselves if you don't attack quickly. Here's Jallo. Thought about the shot from far for a moment. It's a good cross in at the second post. Will it fall into the back of the net? And that's it! Sierra Leone perhaps have opened the scoring, but no. Referee Shamira Nabada seems to have blown the whistle. Did the ball go out of bounds? Interrogations here. Samuel Gandhi prevented from celebrating. I'm not even sure it's even Samuel Gandhi who got the final touch of the ball. So Samuel Gandhi, did the ball go out of bounds? Oh, I don't believe it did. And it's not even Samuel Gandhi who gets the last touch. It's an own goal if it is counted. Of course, there is video assistant refereeing for this tournament, so it will be looked at. From my point of view, it seems like Sierra Leone have opened the scoring, and it'll be an own goal against Happy Nsiku. But I am not in the video assistant refereeing room. A bit of drama here. Upon looking back at it, to me it seems like it's going to be called for a goal. It's a close decision, of course, for did the ball cross the line, but didn't appear like the entirety of it crossed. And what a moment. That's where they found a lot of their success in the first half too. It's the substitute Ba who came on, and it was kept in bounds by the, was it the other substitute, Kagbo, and the goal is disallowed. It's disallowed. My mistake. Zambia get away with one there. I haven't seen the replay and what they saw in the video assistant refereeing room, but does not count. I believe it was the 2 substitutes that had linked up on that, but they're back into it. Kagbo winning a corner. And similarly to the first half, Zambia starting the stronger, but Sierra Leone beginning to show their teeth, and why they are a side that are trying to establish themselves as a force in this new generation of footballers. As a reminder, they qualified alongside Senegal, the reigning champions, in the WAFU qualifications. I believe it was WAFU A or WAFU B. Saw qualified teams like Nigeria and Ghana. So that'll be all from Mumbamwale, who was the top goal scorer in their qualification campaign. That was the Kosafa. And number 9 will be coming off as well. Disappointing night out for Andrew Mulenga. He might have some regrets there. May have to deal with some criticism as well. That's where football also comes with mental strength and fortitude, have to deal with criticism. Is Jallo gonna manage to get something out of this? He has to defend, he has to win against 2 defenders. And yeah, illegal play to be on the ground and prevent the ball from moving. Not the most obvious of refereeing decisions, but it's true. If you do go to ground, you can't just stop the ball. So Zambia have been warned time and time again. Sierra Leone are dangerous from that right wing. Whether it was Ba in the first half or Samba Ba in the second, they have quality. So it's Ilya Mandanji and Philemon Chilimina who've come on, both forwards, play in Zambia. Mandanji plays for the Kafue Celtics, while Philemon Chilimina, the older of the two, plays at Green Buffalo. Laser long ball played to the right. Can Buyoya provide the same distance that the fullback, the starting fullback Matthews Banda does? Not exactly, but does well to create something. Kept in play by Mandani. It's going to find Buyoya. First time cross. Jallo only clears it so far to the fullback. Amansenya, who scuffed his effort. Interestingly done by Samuel Gandhi. To say I've been quite impressed with how Gandhi gets involved in setting his teammates up and participating in the build-up play. Has lacked in finishing. Look, he's being searched for again. Samuel Gandhi commits a foul, however. But he offers a tall presence in the box, but also is a player that likes to combine with his teammates. Yeah, this was the goal that was disallowed here. It's that cross from Ba, and then apparently not kept in bound. But difficult for me to agree with the referee on that decision. I'm not in the video assistant refereeing room. Oh, good job from Zambia there. Working the ball now to the captain, Joseph Banda. He has 2 substitute forwards to look for in Mandani and Chilimina. Bit of a frustrating night out for Joseph Banda. At one point positioned himself perfectly in the box when Pascal Fury was in front of the goalkeeper. Had he just raised his head and looked to his right, could have been found and could have opened the scoring and got the first goal, not only of this match, but of the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations here in Egypt 2025. Of course, Zambia have a heritage of winning this tournament. They did so in 2017 when they defeated Senegal in the final. They also reached the semi-finals in 1991. It was also hosted in Egypt 1999, 2007. However, their most recent appearance, 2023, which was in Egypt as well, didn't end so well. Went winless, 1 draw and 2 losses. Here's Sierra Leone on the right again. And good defending from Hamid Sanya. Contesting the decision from the linesman, but the lineswoman, if I'm not incorrect. Shamir Nabada ensuring that his temper Doesn't flare up too much. Supporters of the young Chopolo Polo here in Egypt. Ismaili. One-time effort from Momo Kamara. Didn't have much height or power. Here he is again, Momo Kamara. Interestingly, the Shooting Stars, 9 of their 10 outfield players well installed in their opponent's half, and that means their space is in the behind the back. But Zambia just have to be quicker in the transitions. They're relying on individual brilliance far too much, and that's leaving time for the Shooting Stars to come back to position. And this time, they do make the most of it, almost so to speak, as Joseph Banda got a look on goal. Could have done better. Really well done from the substitute. He's been stirring trouble. Kagbo. Speculative cross and defended unorthodoxly by Nalumango. But efficient. And now Zambia not playing quick on the counterattacks. Just allows for Jallo to resettle, get into position, and make a defensive play. It's going to be a foot race here between him and the captain, and he wins it. Nathaniel Jallo. Tireless running from Nathaniel Jallo. We've seen him running up and down that right wing. Also making sure he's protecting his behind his back. Strong challenge from Buyoya. He's been quite convincing, the substitute for Zambia. He's come on and been a solid deputy. Matthews Banda about to exit prematurely. So here we are, still 0-0 between Aside and Sierra Leone, who are making their first ever appearance in the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Qualifying through the WAFU A qualifying tournament. That was played in September 2024. Hosted in Liberia, where they actually defeated Liberia, drew against Guinea, and beat Guinea-Bissau in the group stages, and then surprised almost everyone by eliminating Gambia 3-0 in the semi. And that's how they stamped their ticket to be at this tournament in Egypt. Jallo. Simple short pass to his defender. Alpha Turai. Oh, it's good. Charging runs from David Simukunda and Pascal Fury. Going in with so much pace, committing. Have to be careful for Sierra Leone. That's where they're most, they're shown to be most exposable. It's when Zambia start to really get on their jets and sprint. Nalumango, is he a target to look for with this long throw in? It's delivered from the throw. Is there going to be a Zambian player to get to it? It's a captain. He's in the mix. Holding on to possession and just unable to face goal. Overcommitment on the challenge from Alpha Kabia. He collects the second yellow card of Sierra Leone's mat for Sierra Leone. Oh yeah, just charges through the player there as he goes to ground. He did well, Joseph Sabobo Banda, player for FC Zurich. One of the 5 players who were foreign base in this Zambia side. There's also Joseph Liteta, plays in Cagliari, not on the pitch. Andrew Mulenga, of course, who was substituted off. And it's a shot from distance, it goes wide again. He is their designated set piece taker, Joseph Banda, a leader by behavior, but also by what he can accomplish on the pitch. Header pushed forward by Sierra Leone. And let's have a look at the possession stats. Still heavily in favor of the Shooting Stars, and they've won a corner kick. Will it be an in-swinging effort to dazzle and delight the supporters present here in Ismaila, Egypt? That's played short by the captain, Momo Kamara. He's gonna go for goal with his left. Sails as wide as you can get. Goes out for a throw-in on the opposite end of the pitch. Surprising that Buyoya is going to opt for a long throw-in so deep in his own area, but it's a form of a clearance. And they just returned possession. Not the most dazzling build-up play by Zambia on that occasion. For most of this match, unfortunately, but they can be efficient. Here's Banda. Cutting onto his preferred right foot. He's having to work against Nathaniel Jallo. Jallo winning his duel. I'd say both all 4 fullbacks tonight have been amongst the most impressive performers. Nathaniel Jallo, the right back, Amara Keita, the left, for Sierra Leone, and Buyoya and Hamad Senya for Zambia. Very fit, and also very good at closing down on their opponents in the one-on-one situations. That time was Habian Siku, who was perhaps a little bit fortunate to not have had that goal count. It would have been an own goal. Probably would be watching a very different match had Sierra Leone been given that goal. Perhaps returning from an offside position there, yeah. So Samuel Gandhi. The pace of the match has slowed down a little bit. It's getting a little choppier. We're starting to see the ball flow out of bounds or fouls called here and there. And of course, there's nerves and stress associated with playing in an opening match, but it's a little bit to the detriment of spectacle. Of course, Sierra Leone, had you told them they would start off this tournament with a point as debutants, surely they would take it, but if you do watch the proceedings of this match, they seem to be a little bit unfortunate to at least not have scored once. Even though, to me, Zambia still had the most clear-cut chances of the match. Through Andrew Mulenga, the opening minutes of this second half. Pascal Fury for the closing of the first. Matsenya plays it back into play with the throw. He's gonna have to send in a good delivery. Blocked by Sambaba. With authority. Bromby, goalkeeper. Sent in by Banda. Challenge very late. Good defending again from Nathaniel Jallo, I have to say. He's been one of the top performers. Maybe in the first half could have been a little bit more fortunate or have linked up across with the teammates, but he's delivered offensively and defensively. Gandhi at the duel. He's going to chase all the way, and it's another foul. It's been very, very choppy. Two sides contesting every ball. And whoever is late just tends to make the foul, it seems like, in the recent 10-15 minutes of play. Of course, the next match played later tonight will be Egypt against South Africa. That will be played in Cairo. You can watch that either on CAF TV or you can connect to the CAF Online Instagram account to see where you can watch that as well. Bangura coming on, and Dumboya. Two more substitutes for the Shooting Stars. And that'll be all from Samuel Gandhi. So completely changed offense for the Shooting Stars. Mohamed Lamine Camara, the manager, Sierra Leone, making changes. Playing forward to Banda. Banda's been part of the national team setup since the age of 14. Now captaining the under-20. Goes around again. Saidu Bangara. He's had a fairly quiet match from Bangara. Now there's 15 minutes left in this match in regulation time. To wonder how much added time will be shown by the fourth official. Chamira Navada has had a lot of work to do. There's been quite a few stoppages, especially linked to fouls and just the ball heading out of bounds. So there could be some time added beyond the 90th. It's floated in. Miscommunication between Jallo and his defense. No matter, because it's cleared out. Twice intercepted by Simukonda. Did well there. Pounced upon by Keita. And he's not offsides at number 9 for Sierra Leone. He has to carry on and find the... that was just too predictable, that overlapping run, to search for it. And it was picked out by Zambia's defense, but mistake in terms of how that was read. It's a bit chaotic here again in the Zambia box. Sierra Leone, this is where they thrive. Can they make the most of it? And the cross is just not met with an effort. Is it credit to the defense of Haman Senya, or was it just a little bit too approximative from Samuel Ba? Let's see it again. Ba just didn't believe all the way through, did he? Just never pulled the trigger. It's well defended, I guess, by Haman Senya, but it's more just a lack of conviction from Samuel Ba. See it again, yeah. Not much more to say about that, except it's another opportunity squandered by the Shooting Stars. They did a lot to render Zambia uncomfortable, but that's the most that they did. not making them pay. And Buyoya does have distance with his throws. It's going to be the route one option into the box. Maybe a deflection to another forward. Just no consideration for the defender there. I believe it was Mandanji committing the foul. Very long ball, pelted forward. Important midfield battle has to be won here in Zambia. Does well. Philomena Chilemina. Sabobo gets the touch first and came flying in was number 18, Nathaniel Jalot. Oof. Wasn't gonna let the player pass there at all. Isn't booked either. And that's at the corner through that long ball. Through the header of Alpha Turai, number 4 for Sierra Leone. Most of the corners played in by Joseph Banda have been at the first post, at the near post. Is he going to do the same? Yeah, it is. Another near post delivery. And so difficult to score from that angle. I imagine it's what they practiced in training. Momo Kamara looks to his left, finds a new substitute who's come on. Bangura is going to cut onto his right foot. Just sailed over. Kind of seemed like he was always going to be cutting onto his right and going for goal. There was plenty of pace behind that shot, but a little bit uncontrolled from the substitute, number 11. Abdul Bangura, who also plays his club football abroad. Sanya doing so well. Perhaps one of the players that has caught my eye from this match for Zambia. Remains on the ground. He's put in a big shift. He's had to work very hard. It was very clear that Sierra Leone were going to continue insisting on his wing and didn't exactly benefit from too much tracking back of Joseph Banda. So really had to almost do the defensive job of two. Of course, there was that controversial moment where goal was annulled, where he was beaten. He didn't block the delivery, at least. Senya, yeah, holding on and making sure on that. Yeah, he was fouled. Frustration from Sambaba. He did have a good chance, however. Sambaba just didn't pull the trigger on that cross. That was maybe a little bit too far away from him, but he didn't commit with all his will. Great tackle to cut that play out from developing. Really wrapped his body around the ball, made sure the contact with Banda was not dangerous or threatening. Textbook stuff. Buyoya, long throw in. Oh, he meant his teammate. Have to be careful and not commit any fouls, but at the same time they have to defend intelligently. The Shooting Stars. Volley on the first touch, and Amadou Jaro picks up the ball and wastes no time in punting it forward. Hamad Senya, that's poor defending for one of the first times this match. Heads the ball deeper into his own area. He's called to to be there on the one-on-one. But again, that's what I was mentioning. He just goes in with so much conviction for lots of his duels. Anticipated effort from Alusine Doumbouya, substitute who came on. They've had more shots, Sierra Leone, but they haven't been taken in high-scoring positions. I have trouble remembering the last time Sierra Leone worked themselves into the box of Zambia. Seems like the young Chopolo Polo mostly relegated the chance creation to take place from the wings. And yeah, you see Sierra Leone, they only have one shot on target. I believe it was Samuel Gandhi's shot in the first half, when he did very well to chase the ball and rob number 14 Milimo Nalumango. Then the shot was on target, but again lacked some pepper on it. Unconventional first-time defensive play from Buyoya, but works very well. Another unconventional pass, but again working very well. Buyoya called again. Zambia struggling. They've just been struggling a lot during this match in building up play. For their supporters, they must be slightly concerned. And Zambia are on the back foot here. Sierra Leone, that's one of the few times that they've actually introduced themselves into the box, and the final ball was missing. Number 20 for Zambia goes to ground too easily. No foul called by referee Shamira Nabada. Much more enjoying the pace in this last few sequences of play. Some sloppy giveaways, however. And if on the top of your screen there's a Zambia player who's free and in the space, he's met. Zambia, can they get the opening goal? Very, very lackluster finish from David Simukonda. It's a shame because that pass was very well disguised, and it was perfectly in that area between the last defender and the goalkeeper. Mamadou Jadot thought about coming out, didn't. He's gonna go to ground, the captain of Sierra Leone, Momo Kamara, their top goal scorer in the qualifiers. Obviously in discomfort. The 86th minute of play, maybe with cramp. That was a lovely pass. The layoff here was quite good too, but well closed down by number 4, Alpha Turai. Yawns in the crowd. Of course, it hasn't been the most thrilling encounter of football. Only 4 shots on target, and none of them really forcing picturesque saves from the goalkeepers. And this is an interesting moment. It's going to be Osman Kamara to come on. The 18-year-old who arrives on Friday in Egypt. Plays his club football for the North London club Arsenal Football Club. He's actually featured in the under-21 side a few times this season. One to look out for in the future, only 18 years of age. It's promising. He'll have a few minutes to showcase his skills as he comes on for Momo Kamara. Banda still at 88th minute trying to force the issue. He's often been double teamed, Banda. It does feel that Zambia perhaps wasted an opportunity to pick up points against a side in Sierra Leone who course, perhaps even played better this match, but with all the experience of a side that has already won the tournament, you'd expect for them to take this match very seriously. Banda still on the ball, and he's dispossessed by Bangura. Bangura defending well and even winning the goal kick. Let's see, was there a contact? Oh, difficult, I didn't see it too clearly there. Mamadou Jalot, goalkeeper from Denmark's Brøndby IFCU system. Built a reputation for having great reflex as a goalkeeper for Sierra Leone and shot-stopping ability. Hasn't had to showcase it too much tonight. See if we can get a few glimpses of Osman Kamara, described in the Sierra Leonean press as an Arsenal wonder kid. The clock ticks down to the 90th minute. The final questions to be asked will be how many minutes of added time given by the refereeing team here. Bangura in the box, found the back of the net, but the whistle was blown previously before his shot was even taken. Beautiful balance on that shot, however. You can see that's the quality that they were missing. Yeah, maybe a foul in the duel between the two sides. The elbow, number 9, Kagbo, was a little high. But then nothing to say about the quality of the shot by Bangura. His right leg firmly planted in the ground. The motion of his left leg to swipe at that ball and cannon it into the back of the net was something to behold. It's a shame. Oh, it's a good cross. Met with the head on, just didn't get any power behind it. Ba, who's now found himself on the left. When he had come on, found himself on the right, but there's been a bit of a reshuffle by Mohamed Lamine Kamara. Alba Kamara deflects the ball. Through that deflection, it's fortunate for the young Chopolo Polo. 6 minutes of added time. Sierra Leone, they have numbers going forward. Oh, it's a good pace from Kagbo. He's met by 2-3 players, but keeps possession. Bangura, can he look up and find another teammate? Fakes the back heel, low cross. Number 2 for Sierra Leone. The volley, and it's completely scuffed by Ba. Instead of looking to his left, and for Oba Kamara, went for glory, Samba Ba. Shame. Sierra Leone really could have benefited from that goal. Zambia playing with a little bit more urgency than we saw. Perhaps it's the showing of the stoppage time that's prompting them to attack with a little bit more hunger. So the next opponent for Sierra Leone will be Egypt on the 30th of April. Zambia have a little bit of a break till May 3rd, where they'll also take on Egypt. All these matches will be played at the Suez Canal Stadium, this very stadium. So they'll be very familiar with it. Sierra Leone will then take on South Africa, while Zambia will take on Tanzania. And on the 9th of May, Zambia will close out the group, play their 4th match of the group against South Africa. So after tonight's match between Egypt and South Africa, there's a little break of 3 days before the competition officially, well, has officially taken off, but where the rhythm will start to accelerate in terms of games played. The frequency will be increasing. Good duel between Bangura and Jallo. Just tried a little bit to be too tricky, too complex, and Bangura makes a mess of it. It's a pity. Sierra Leone finishing. Oh, here's Obakamara. Strong header, but it only finds the path of Obakamara. Cleared without any risk by David Buyoya. Final minutes and final moments of this match, the opener of the Group A match. As it stands, both of these sides will finish with 1 point apiece, unless the shooting stars of Sierra Leone can break the deadlock put in place by Zambia. That seems to be the most likely of outcomes. After the draw, Obakamara cross in, sent right back to the deliverer, Amadou Keita. Amara Keita, excuse me. Jallo, very high upon his, outside of his box, the goalkeeper for Sierra Leone. Sends it forward, maybe put a little bit too much power behind that long ball, and just kept bouncing away. This was Bangura's cross, which was met by Ba. Did enough to get the ball on target, but oh, Amara Keita, last-ditch defending there. Good bit of ball work from Alpha Kabia. That might just be the last offensive play of the match. Well, it's launched far. David Buyoya keeps it in play with the header. Oh, lovely cutback from the number 20 of Zambia, who's not going to take any risks and shoot towards the goal. It's going to go out of bounds, and the clock will tick as fast as ever to the 6th minute. And Shamir Nabada, the referee, blows her whistle for the final time of the match. It's all even between Zambia and Sierra Leone. Nothing to make the difference between the two. Tightly contested affair where Sierra Leone perhaps showcased the more ambitious and offensive brand of football. Zambia, previous winners, not exactly showcasing that championship-winning pedigree against a side that are participating for the very first time in the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. There were some revelations. Sierra Leone are a side that do play with unity, are very compact and transition well, especially on the wings. They do lack some finishing quality, however, that will have to be looked at. Zambia, on the other hand, have some big problems in terms of their build-up and their approach play. They have individual brilliances, but have to work on that team unity, which was lacking in this match. Nonetheless, either side could have gotten the victory, and both managers, Mohamed Lamine Camara and Mulwanda Boyd, will have to focus on the positives that they saw, as this tournament is fully underway. Next on May 30th, it'll be Sierra Leone taking on the hosts Egypt. Zambia will also take on the host Egypt, but that will be on May 3rd. Man of the match is Joseph Sabobo, or Joseph Banda. He'll be interviewed here.